Welcome to this video. In this video, we'll see how to debug a C++ program on Visual Code. In last videos, we saw how to install Visual Code on Windows. We were following the documentation given on Visual Studio Code web page. From this documentation, we installed Visual Code. Then after that, we installed C++ extensions on the Vscode. Then also we installed MinGW toolchain in the Windows, and we also edited the path for MinGW compiler in the environment variables, and we also checked the GCC, G++ and GDB versions. And we also created a new sample project in order to build it using the commands, and we also edited task.json file in order to build multiple C++ files. And at last we were able to build our code. So if you have joined us in this video, I request you to please see part 1 and part 2 for setup of Visual Code for C++ coding on Windows. We will recap the code that we have written in the last video. We had a main.cpp file in which we were having the main function where we were creating some objects of my class, and we were calling function from my class definition. In my class.h, we were having the class definition for my class. Here we were having function 1, function 2, function 3 as public function, and internal function and one num as element. In my class.cpp, we were having the definition of my class. Here I have defined the functions. And in main.cpp, I am using this class in order to call its public functions. I am using obj as class pointer, and I am using function 1, function 2, function 3 as function calls. So this is the simple code. Now we will see how to debug this code on the Visual Code. The first thing that we are going to see in this video is the breakpoint. Breakpoint is the point at which we want our code flow to break. We can put breakpoint in Visual Code by clicking on the line number. For example, here at line number 7, I want a breakpoint. So our code flow will break at line number 7 if we will debug the code. And we can only put the breakpoint on the executable code. If we put breakpoint at line number 6, it is of no sense. Now I will debug the code by clicking on the play button. It will start the build process, and then we'll continue with the debug. Here you can see that multiple C++ files are given to the compiler, and now build is successful. And now the debug will start. Now we are having the breakpoint at line number 7. So this is the next instruction which will be executed in the next step. This is highlighted by yellow color. And this is the section where we can see the local variables. I'm having obj as the local variable, so I can see the pointer which is having the address inside it. In watch, I can add the variables which I want to see. Call stack shows the hierarchy of the function which are called. Now these are the various buttons. This is the continue. If I want to continue the flow, I can click on this. So here, for example, I am having a new breakpoint at line number 11. If I will press the continue, the flow will come to the line number 11. So it is basically used to jump from one breakpoint to the other breakpoint. So now our code flow breaks at line number 11. So this is the function of continue button. And you can see that our code is executed and main function is about to return. This is the restart button. If we want to restart the debug session, we can use this button. It will build the code again and will start the debug session again. And as we are having the breakpoint at line number 7, it will stop the code flow at line number 7 again. So we are stopped at line number 7 now. This is the step into button. This will make the code flow enter into that particular instruction. So we are in the constructor. Now this line will be printed inside constructor. And we can come out of this particular function by clicking on step out. So we now came out to the constructor. Now if you will play step in, so it will go to the next instruction, which is the function 1 call at line number 8. Now we can jump the function 1 instructions by clicking on step over. So we did not go inside the function 1 in the debug session, we just jumped over it. Then if you want to go to the function 2, we can click on step in. So we are in the function 2. So here we can see we are having the class element this, and it is holding some pointer address. And now this is the for loop, and we are having I as a local variable. We can see I getting displayed in the variable, and we can see the inside function 2 statement. Now we can see the value of I getting printed. As well, we can see this in the local section. As we will step in, it will continue to iterate in the for loop for different I values. If we are having a large for loop and we do not want to step in to each statement, we can come out of that for loop by using the step out button. So it will come out of that particular function. Now we are at line number 10. So this is basically a call to function 3. If we'll press on step in, then it will go to the function 3 definition. And here we can see the call stack. It is the hierarchy of the function which are called. So first is the main function. After that, my class function 3 is called. So in call stack, we can see the same thing. Now, the next function which will be called from function 3 is the internal function. If we step in, then we will go to the internal function. Here, I am going to step in now. If you see the call hierarchy, we have the main, we have the function 3, and we have the internal function. So in the same way, we can see the call stack for our code whenever we want. We are inside the internal function, and if I want to see the value of num, I can do a step in again. And if I want to see the value, I can add the element in the watch. Here I can see that num is having a value of 5, and now I am at line number 34. If I step in, then I can see the value of num is getting printed. And now I am in the function 3, and now I am back to main function. And in call hierarchy, only main function is visible. Now to stop the debug session, I can press on the stop button. It will stop the debug session. And if you want to debug again, you can click on the play button again, and debug session will be started again. So friends, this was the video regarding the debug session. So I hope you like the video. So please like this video, share the video, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.